So just right now, my camera cut out. So this is part two of the night before Halloween video that I'm making, and have been texting my friend back and forth throughout the evening. And we've been reminiscing about all the fun Halloween parties we used to go to before COVID when we were still young and in our 40s. And now that we're in our early 50s, nights like this where it's dark and stormy, we're more than happy to just stay home and relax, and perfectly comfortable with that whole idea. Halloween is great. It's an amazing, amazing holiday. For me, I just can't get enough of it. I started watching movies at the end of September. I start watching all the favorites. Let's see, Sleepy Hollow, Hocus Pocus, Van Helsing. What else is a good one? Oh, Dark Shadows with Johnny Depp. That's a really good one. And Michelle Pfeiffer. Great movie. Eva Green played a witch in that movie. She did a phenomenal job. There's also The Wolfman with Benicio del Toro, which is really good. I'm hunkering down and watching all these movies tonight because it's raining so hard that having the window open is just bringing water into my window. But the reason that I'm filming is that there's a bunch of psychos like standing out on the street screaming and shouting. They're such low life scum that they should jump into traffic and, rid the planet of their pesky existences. Really? Oh my God, it's like pouring out here. So there's a bunch of It's pouring rain, and the psychos are literally gathering on the sidewalk below these windows. They're pretty quiet right now, but they're standing out in the middle of a pouring rainstorm shouting, which is why I started filming. I was in the middle of watching a really great Halloween movie, and then all these psychos start screaming out on the street in the middle of a rainstorm. Okay, now they seem to be quiet. So I think they know when I open my window. I mean, they could probably hear it because now they're quiet. Oh no, they're still down there. So my point is, they're standing out on the street. It's been going on for like 45 minutes. Out on the sidewalk in the middle of a rainstorm shouting, but now they're quiet. Yeah, so they must know. I mean, you can hear the window opening. The point that I'm trying to make is that when I came home from work this afternoon at approximately 3:30 p.m., the huge gray masturbating BLM psychomobile was idling directly in front of the doorway to this building as I was trying to approach the building. That masturbating BLM hate stalking mobile was not there 10 or 15 minutes before I approached the doorway, because they do this on a geo-tracking basis when I happen to be actually approaching the door to this building. I have so many videos of that masturbating BLM hate stalking mobile idling directly in front of and blocking access to the doorway of this building as I'm trying to approach the doorway. And it doesn't matter what time of the day I'm trying to approach the doorway. That vehicle is out there at 3:30 in the afternoon. It's out there at 1 in the morning. It's pretty much constantly stationed directly in front of the doorway to this building. And then there's large numbers of mentally disturbed, low life trash who loiter and hang out inside that vehicle or around it and scream things at myself, if not other people, when they happen to pass by that vehicle and try to access the front door of the building. And those low lifes are standing out on the street right now, gathering around where that mobile, that giant masturbating, perving, creeping BLM SUV was parked earlier today when I came home and was trying to approach the door to the building. That vehicle is still out there. And the lowlifes who constantly seem to be living out of it and gathering around it and getting disruptive in the street around that vehicle are gathering around that vehicle right now in the middle of a rainstorm where it's pouring rain, and normal people are comfortably inside of their residences and watching movies and relaxing and staying out of the elements. These lowlifes are standing out on the street corner screaming and shouting, and they've been screaming and shouting out there for an hour. I mean, it took me like 45 minutes to start filming. And then, of course, as soon as I opened my window and started filming, they had some sort of an awareness of that and they got really quiet, but you could still hear them talking down there, and they're down there now. That's not normal. That's not even remotely functional. They're miserable, low life trash who have nothing else to do other than hate stalk people who they think have something that they don't. I don't know what it is. I mean, what do they want from me? These stupid pieces of trash will never have anything to do with me. They need to go stick to their own business, keep their nose like in their friend's business, not in my business, and stay in their own lane. But they can't do that because they're disturbed and dysfunctional. And I'm not knocking people who are trying to help themselves, but these lowlifes do not help themselves. They blame their problems on everybody else. They think that everybody owes them something. They want free everything. They don't like people who have jobs and who work. And so they do everything they can to get into your face and try to get you defunded from your employment in one way or another. And they just try to bring everybody else down with them because they're just dysfunctional scum that maybe should go live in a colony somewhere, like in the middle of the ocean where nobody's going to be bothered by them. That would be nice. So now they're screaming again. Now that I have closed my window and have pulled the curtains across the window, now you can hear them shouting again. So they're doing that when I open my window, and they have some kind of a knowledge of that. I don't know how, but they're standing directly below my window. So, maybe there's a reason for that. In the middle of a pouring rainstorm at like 10 p.m. on a very windy night, I don't know why anyone in their right mind would be standing on a sidewalk, screaming and shouting on a sidewalk in the middle of a rainstorm for over an hour. But these low lifes, that is exactly what they've been doing. And hopefully some of their shouting got captured on the audio to this phone. But again, I have no control over how the audio to this phone works and what it does or does not record. And cheap camera phones don't have professional grade recording equipment. So because you don't hear something on an audio doesn't mean it's not there. It simply means that the technical aspect of the recording is not picking up on the entire range of decibel output that is coming from what I am trying to record. Fucking retards. Oh my God, now they're shouting outside my windows again. I mean, do I open the window again and start recording and then have them get quiet again? They're just low life trash. I have nothing else going on. And they're proving it by standing out on the sidewalk in the middle of a rainstorm when you can hear the rain like pounding on the windows right now. These low life pieces of shit are shouting on the sidewalk directly below my windows. I mean, they've been doing that for like an hour now. I hope they catch a cold. I mean, they deserve it. People who live their lives parasitically trying to block what other people have built for themselves do not deserve my sympathy, my concern, my unconditional positive regard, my friendship, my time, and my energy. Although I am doing that right now by trying to make a video about how they're shouting below my windows when I'm quietly trying to enjoy my evening. And when normal people are, cozily inside enjoying the Halloween ambiance of the night before Halloween, these low life scumbags are standing outside on a sidewalk outside of it, gathering around a masturbating BLM haystalking mobile that's like a giant SUV that people live out of directly below these windows. I mean, it's literally like a campground for low life trash. The sidewalk below these windows is a campground for low life hate stalking trash, sex offenders, pedophiles, wife beaters, all these low lifes that nobody wants to go near. They tend to gather on the sidewalks around this building complex and force their hideousness on everybody else. That's too bad because you know what? We close our windows, we close our curtains, we enjoy being inside and texting our friends and reminiscing about Halloween parties from 10 years ago and watching really good Halloween movies. The one that I just had to pause because of the shouting out of the street below is called A House with a Clock in Its Walls. And it is surprisingly really good. And Jack Black, who I think is awesome, is fantastic in it. He plays an eccentric uncle who walks around wearing a kimono and has about 100 clocks in his big old mansion that is really spooky. And then the end of the movie is pretty cool and kind of Halloweenish. And it's just a good movie. I love it.